this point.
Hello, Disney friends. It is I, Sam, from Sam's Disney Diary. And that, my friends, is the blue-haired blogger himself from Fantasyland News. It is January the 14th, 2026. It's a big week at Walt Disney World. And, Greg, we thought we had two big topics to talk about, which is the Festival of Arts kicks off this weekend. And you, my friend, got to spend some time with Leslie Iwerks last evening at an event kicking off Disneyland Handcrafted. Then this other stuff dropped. Greg, what's going on this week at Walt Disney World?
I think you just covered it, my friend. You literally just stole my opening. I now have nothing to say, Sam. What is going on? Would you like to recap it all again in your opening intro? I'm fine with it, man. Whatever. What do we have going on? Man, it was look, Sam's dying over there, everybody. Let's all point and laugh. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Sam, how are you feeling after the Pittsburgh Steelers loss? Should we
it is what it is.
See, this is how we start the show right there, Sam.
Yeah. It doesn't change my my visit to see you this upcoming weekend. It might have otherwise.
Festival of the Arts, man. We're going to talk all about that. We're going to talk about Disney Lorcana there. We'll talk about some of the food places. We got a lot. Yes, I was at Disneyland Handcrafted premiere last night at Walt Disney World.
Cool.
Disney Experiences was nice enough to invite us out to go see it. We got to sit and we're going to talk all about it. It was I sat in the room with 300 Disney legends. Like, it was just Disney legend after Imagineer after Ambassador. It was amazing. We'll do a little review on that. And then, Sam, we got small news here and there about various things. And then the big news that you and I are going to have a nice debate about is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is admitting defeat to the Empire.
They're just expanding to additional era.
They are admitting defeat, my friend. They have lost the battle against the fans.
In Disneyland. Let's caveat, Disneyland only.
Disneyland.
Disney World. It's
coming to Disney World. But anyway, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going back 40 years in timeline. Going to change the whole thing. Darth Vader, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia Organa is coming. No word on Jar Jar Binks.
You got to go back further than 40 years, but you could work it out.
I could bring back Jar Jar, man. Bring back Obi-Wan. Bring back Obi-Wan as young Obi-Wan. Right?
Okay.
Look, if you're going to... Okay. Anyway, let's start the show. We're going to talk about that.
All that and so much more coming up in just a minute. Greg, we got lots of shout outs to go through this morning. Captain Mickey Minnie, thanks for being there. Lily, thanks for being there as always. Caleb and Mama Goose out there. Greg.
Did you say Captain Mickey Minnie?
Captain Mickey Minnie is in the chat.
Sir, yes. I am welcome aboard, Captain.
Welcome. And by the way, I just do want to throw one thing out there very quickly. Scott, if you are out there, condolences from me and everybody here. We don't have to get into details, but we're with you, my man.
Yeah.
And with that, dude, so much to talk about.
So much to go through this week, man. Yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on Festival of the Arts. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I think first we're going to kick it off with.
We are, as soon as I find my highlight buttons here.
Yeah, once he finds highlight buttons. Anyway, I hope everybody's week was good. We are on week 2 of the new year around here. It has been a great year so far. We have just this week alone, Disneyland Handcrafted. We went.
There we go.
And now we have
there we go. Sorry.
Look, and then Sam is back.
I am back.
Sam,
I don't know what happened there. The layout on my screen just got all screwed up. But let's start with Handcrafted, dude, because you were there last evening. This is an image that you took. Tell me, dude, I don't even know where to start with this.
By the way, this is at AMC Disney Springs last night. We were invited
in the big theater, right?
In the big theater, yeah. So we're actually on the second level, looking down front row.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So we had amazing seats, dead center. A big group of us took over the whole row. Look, if I was into media, I would be intimidated by that whole row. That was a lot of people in that row.
I get it.
I love hanging out. I love hearing everybody's opinions about this because, look, we sat there, and you know some of the people we sit with. There are Disney historians. They are the people who have covered Disney for years and years and years. And they, along with myself, truly had a fabulous time, and we were just so delighted to be invited out to this. But we'll get into it. Leslie Iwerks herself was there. Executive producer Jason Recker was in the theater with us. We were surrounded by Disney ambassadors, the newest ones to the oldest ones. Debbie Dane Brown, the first Disney World ambassador, sat there.
That's cool.
Remembered this blue head. She is the sweetest, nicest, kindest woman. And she's the epitome of Disney. Like, when you talk to her, she is still a cast member. She's still in love with Walt Disney World. Sure. And she still represents the company very well. We sat there with Imagineers from across the country, from across the world, actually. We sat there with the 2 legends. There's only 2 people in the audience that can claim that they are part of the most exclusive club at Disney parks, called the 1955 Club. And it is original opening day cast members, or who were part of the construction. They were in the audience to go through basically what Disney. Here, why don't we roll the.
This is a teaser trailer. This is only a minute long, but if you're watching us and haven't heard this is coming, I know that you have.
That had to be built. I mean, even the trains were built in under a year, right? Now, I put in my review, and the best way I can put this is, thank God OSHA did not exist. There's no way you can create Disneyland in 1 year ever again because of OSHA. These guys are out there with no wires. They're hanging across steel bars. Yeah. They showed opening, like the pre-opening of the, the Mark Twain going on the Rivers of America, with no safety ropes. No railings, no safety ropes. And it is packed to the gills with guests. And it was just like, who would do this?
That's what needed done, and it's like amazing.
Giant caterpillars rolling over on their side, people going up giant flagpoles to cap them off with no safety whatsoever. And what you really get out of this is 2 things. You get these people's love of their profession and truly using their hands to actually craft you see them in the mud on the castle, and you put the work they put involved in every little detail that is part of this park. It's a different viewpoint. There's no announcer, right? There's no Samuel L. Jackson or Morgan Freeman talking over it. It is literally just the voices of Disney legends like Bob Gurr or from ABC News, Art Linkletter,
Right.
talking over what their experiences were like. Bob Gurr, I think, said it best is they just bought into Walt's dream. Walt had the passion. Yeah. Walt had the dream. Walt put all of his own money up to create this.
Sure did.
And now we are 70 years later, my friend, and you and I get to have a show talking about Disney because of what he did 70 years ago or 71 years ago now.
It is amazing. And some of the parts that I thought were phenomenal, and at the end of the show today, I think we'll run another little teaser, but really what Leslie Iwerks was able to do. Because what they did is they found canisters of film that were taken during the construction. All of these images that you see on the screen right now are from those canisters, never before seen construction video. And it's all silent. There was no audio recorded back then. It was just moving pictures. Right. So Greg, you had said before we started, they actually had somebody did a soundtrack for this and the voiceover and the way it's put together.
Tell me about soundtrack that adds weight to this project.
Sure.
The first 60 minutes, the music behind it adds the suspense. The music is the unspoken voice of this documentary. And then when they start getting to a certain point, then the music becomes brighter and lifts up. But there's 60 minutes of you're on the edge of your seat. Look, we all know it opens on time, right? At the end of the day, look, the Titanic sank, right?
Yeah, we know that doesn't change. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't change history, but it's that lead up of 60 minutes. You're like, oh, are they going to get the, why am I questioning this? I know the history of this. The music that was done at Skywalker Sound and from Iwerks and Company is beautiful. They add the sound effects they added, the voiceovers. It is phenomenal on
so
many
you get
levels.
to answer the question. Skywalker Sound did the audio for this.
Correct.
It was done based on that raw footage that we talked about that was found.
Yeah, and let's talk about the raw footage for a second, because we got a little bit more of a background on this raw footage. Apparently, Leslie herself and a few other at the Walt Disney Archives and at the Disney Family Museum found some footage, but apparently Tony Baxter years ago had saved this footage from being destroyed and would show this stuff randomly to people. And she made sure to give a shout out last night during the question and answer to say, if this wasn't for Tony Baxter and him believing in this and him having some of this footage, none of this would have happened.
That's amazing, because this footage easily could have been lost.
Absolutely. So between Tony Baxter, Leslie Iwerks herself directing this and producing this, and Jason Recker, who is the head of basically Disney Media that we answer to kind of at Disney Experiences.
Right.
He is the executive producer of this film. And it's through Disney Parks that this kind of came all together, right? So if it wasn't for all of these people coming together to create this, the cast members, the legends, Bob Gurr, like I said, Tony Baxter, this would not be. We did have a Q&A session last night. So after the film, and I want to put this out there, right? If you've never been in the middle of a theater with 300 Disney employees and you're invited into the room, you know these Disney employees love each other. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Leslie Iwerks got a standing ovation at the end of this that brought her to tears because it meant something to her from her peers loving this movie. And
so let me ask you something. You're in the theater. Did you see the entire documentary? Is it
whole
just one episode?
75 minutes?
75 minutes.
75 minutes. Yeah. It's a
and
movie.
I wasn't sure how it was going to be, right? Because Leslie did the Imagineering story, which, by the way, that right there, I don't know if she talked about it at all, but in a featurette, she kind of alluded to it. They were making a 75-minute Disneyland thing, and it turned into the Imagineering story on Disney Plus, which was 6 episodes as opposed to 1. And some of the footage was originally going to be in the Imagineering story, but it got dropped and ended up in Handcrafted along with other stuff. Did she talk about some of that?
She did. She did mention some of that, and I have a full video of what she goes
Oh,
through, and I
awesome.
will
Can't wait
bring
to see
that
that.
up. Um,
So
I got to ask a question. There
that's
was a
what I
lot
was
of
going to ask you. Did you ask a question, and what was it?
I did, and I don't understand it, Sam, but everybody in the row went, "Oh no," and I was like, "Why is it
Well,
always
I would have
me
done
that
that
gets
when you
the oh
just
no?"
stood up to ask a question or
Yeah.
approached a podium or a
Look,
microphone. I
if
would have
Lou
guessed.
Mangello stands up, everybody's like, "Oh, it's Lou. He's going to ask a great question." I stand up, and people are like, "Oh no," and they slink into their seats. I don't understand it, man.
Oh no, I
Um,
would have got a start. I would have got a better look just so I could see what happens then.
Yeah, their cameras turned on me quickly. I
Yes.
thank God other people were recording it because you could see a bunch of people just go, "Er." It was like stop the building.
All right. So,
No,
so
and
what was your question?
the simple thing is I sometimes will ask hard hitting questions that don't belong in the situation. So this one I asked a great question, and the simple one was, um, what is it like for her to go through Disneyland now, right? What is it like for her to walk through these theme parks? Does she see her grandfather, who happens to be of iWorks? Does she see her father, who happens to be Don iWorks? Both Disney legends, right?
Both with a window on Main Street, by the way. The
Yes.
iWorks and iWorks. Yeah.
Does she see Walt's dream and Walt's vision? And it was she. And then the second, my follow up question, which was very simple, and Disney World fans, you're going to be very happy that I did this, and I got an ovation for asking this, which was crazy, but I asked her simply put, this is Disney World's 55th anniversary this year.
Yep.
When are we going to see a Roy Disney, Walt Disney World story like this? At which point
Great
she
question.
said, I think the executives in the room need to hear that question. And then she goes, from your lips to God, and the place erupted.
Well, and it's a fascinating question, Greg, because if you look at the history and how this all unfolded, Disneyland opens in 1955, and Walt wants to do something bigger, and he's researching the land in Florida, and he passes away in 1966, and everything comes to a grinding stop until Roy says, we're going to do this. And in fact, we're not calling it Disney World. We're going to call this place Walt Disney World, and I'm going to make it happen. He makes it to the dedication in 1971 and passes away shortly after.
Right.
There's a fascinating story to be told.
There's a fascinating story somewhere in there. Yeah. But this wasn't what this was about. This was about Disneyland, its 70th anniversary, and it was great. We were I do want to thank Disney Experiences for having us out. I want to thank Walt Disney World and Disney Parks for having us out, Disney Plus for having us out, the iWorks and Company. It was truly special to be in that room. It's like I watched Haunted Mansion with when that movie came out with the cast from the
I
Haunted
remember
Mansion,
you did that, yes.
And I was just like, it's something different to experience in life when you're around true diehards. Right, we're a Disney news site. We're Disney historians. We like to talk about what they do. So to be in the room and kind of eavesdrop on what they were talking about and what they like is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool experience that we got to have. So
absolutely, and some of these images here were part of Leslie's research and being in the infamous basketball court inside of the Matterhorn of Disneyland with Bob Gurr. Come on, does it get better than that?
Yeah, I mean, that's that rumor of that picture going around for years. Like, these are all things that people still talk about. What I thought was great was, Disney does not, so like, sometimes when you have something like this, you don't have a massive budget, right? And the budget goes into the creation, and they spent
Skywalker Sound
on the creation and on the audio of this, and it pays off. So I don't know how much budget they have left for promotions. So
we're doing a pretty good job of promoting.
If we have to be the people who promote this, I take that as a badge of honor, because if it wasn't good, Sam, I would sit back and go, "This sucks," or I would like gloss over it.
Look, they had me at the Destination D23 event at the Disneyland presentation in the main stage.
Right.
The first 30 seconds of the first trailer, I was like, when is this coming out? Circle it on a calendar. They said early 2026. So happy it's in January. They kind of held the date back a little bit and didn't tell anybody, but This looks absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Leslie's story is incredible. There's a featurette that Disney just released. We might look at it a little later, but
yeah. And you know
amazing.
what? I think that, to be quite honest, I think her story takes away from the art of this story. People are focusing so much on her history.
Well, as a person that creates documentaries, you don't want to be part of the story.
Right.
You're
and
telling
the problem
a story
is
about something else.
her part of the story. And she's like, no, like, I've done my story. I've done the Work story in 1999 or
she did. It's what started her career. And that was, so she talks a little bit about that and her doing a high school paper about her grandfather, because she was very young when he passed. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah. She's got one picture with him.
Yes. Which is awesome to have,
I guess.
That
you're
is
in
awesome.
the family.
Right. So it's great. It comes out January the 22nd. We're together next on the 21st. I will definitely be watching this when it drops on Thursday next week. So we got one more show before then, but wow, amazing.
Disneyland Handcrafted, January 22nd, Disney Plus, and also on the Disney YouTube channel.
I did see it was going to be on the YouTube channel. That's pretty cool.
I think that's awesome. Like
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, right. This is, and I think I say this, and maybe I read this from one of our compadres or something. Like, this is the stuff that Disney Plus promised us when it became something.
Yeah,
this
something for everybody, and this is for us, those parks fans that love it.
That's exactly what it's for. So, go watch it. I can't recommend it enough. And there's my review.
I love it, man.
Moving on.
Now, before it comes out, there's a couple of things that are going to happen. One of them is pretty big because it, my friend, is the EPCOT Festival of the Arts 2026. That is opening up this weekend. In fact, Friday morning is the opening. I'm pretty sure you're going to be there bright and early. Dude, I heard it's going to be pretty warm out and that you're just going to be in shorts and a short.
Oh, Sam. I'm
joking.
I would have blamed you if I woke up that morning and it was 28 degrees. I would have been like, take your weather back home, sir.
And Greg is saying that because I plan to go down. I'm not going to get down till later in the weekend, but Friday morning is going to be cold in Florida. Tell me what it's going to be. It's going
to be 20. So again, we're in Florida. The coldest part of the day is always between like 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., right?
Sure. Yeah.
So we have to be there at 7:30 a.m. and it is going to be 28 degrees.
Oh, nice.
This is Florida, my friend.
This is like flowers are going to die weather is what that is.
This is multiple long johns. And because we're Floridians now and I'm not acclimated to the Northeast, I will have on like long johns, pants, a ski suit, my ski jacket, my face covered. You will not be able to tell it's me. I'll be walking. Remember that kid Ralphie from A Christmas Story?
Oh yeah, I can't put my arms down.
Yeah, that's going to be me walking through the parks, and it's only supposed to hit like 55, man.
So, dude, here's the deal for tailgating. Cool. Now, I got myself a jacket that's got a button that's got a heater in it, both the jacket and pants. That's the way to go. Plus, check this out: the battery pack can charge my phone. Come on.
That's what I need, my friend.
It's the coolest. Yeah, then you got you can turn it on different levels.
But no, I am really excited for this year's Festival of the Arts.
Okay, what is happening? Well, a couple of slides. You shared some images, of course, coming soon. That will be gone here in just a couple of days.
Yeah, man, look at Figment. Figment got a little update, some new colors.
It looks like his paintbrush is a little different. Is he still a three-dimensional figure or is he cardboard? Or not cardboard, but
I mean, it's just a cutout, like whatever they're using.
Yeah, cutout. It's not cardboard,
but he's a little bit more lifelike or lively, or
he's a little more animated.
Yeah,
let's say that.
He looks better than he has in the last few years. So
would it be awesome if the popcorn bucket looked exactly like that?
I am okay. I mean, look, it's called the Figment Artist Popcorn Bucket,
which we have not seen any images of. For those of you that are watching, we don't know what it looks like this year. They've not shared anything yet.
They've not shared anything. They just said it's on sale and it'll be $29. So we do know that for sure. We know the name, we know the price, we know where, and we also know that
image in the mobile ordering app because Friday morning I may be mobile ordering it.
5 a.m. mobile ordering.
Yes, exactly. And one of the other pictures you got, Greg, is the ninth wonder of the world, the unbelievable, the amazing backside of a rainbow and a Figment cutout.
The backside of a rainbow.
Hey, I had to do it.
No, I'm with you, man.
Somebody had to do it.
Somebody. I'm glad it was
good.
you.
All right. So one of the biggest, we had hoped last year, or was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago for Festival of Arts, when they first did the Once Upon a Stage over in Communicore Hall, that this was the new standard for what they were going to use this space for, because it was done so well and it was incredible. And then we got Goofy Core Hall, which whatever. But I'm hoping that this is going to be phenomenal again. Once Upon a Stage, celebrating the magic of Disney on Broadway. They had Broadway costumes on display. They had just a phenomenal display of art.
It's supposed to be updated for this year. We shall see on Friday morning. That's where our first place we're going to.
What would the new Disney on Broadway? Is there a new production happening, or are they?
No, I mean, look, Frozen's back. I think it's Beauty and the Beast is celebrating.
Beauty and the Beast is in the middle of their national tour.
Yeah, and it's their 30th anniversary. There's rumors of new. What's the new show that they announced at D23 2 years ago?
Was it
the Hugh Jackman movie? This is the Greatest Show.
Oh, the Greatest Showman.
Yeah, so we hope maybe that will be on display.
Maybe.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
if you will be among the first to see it, my friend.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see something really cool. This is very well done, museum quality pieces in there. Disney on Broadway and the traveling show have been around the world, so I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be, and look, you got to need a place to warm up. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Very cool. And Holly's on it. Greatest Showman, of course. Yeah. I was trying to get over to see the something's going weird with my screen today. But anyway, keep going. Inspiration Station, some of that is up again. It looks like the photo opportunities are back, of course.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what Figment they have going on there. If you remember that first year, they had the pin boards out, the old pin boards.
I remember.
They had a bunch of other stuff. And then last year, it was kind of just like displays on the walls and some moving pictures, because the popcorn buckets were so big being sold in there.
They were, and that they did it extremely well. And I think that the press release said mobile order those buckets again.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you mobile order them early in the morning, you can push your pickup to later in the day and not carry it around all day, unless you want to be the one carrying it around all day. I mean, I get it.
Right. We got to write about it, so
I get it. Yeah, you'll be there early.
I'll take it to my car.
Step into the paintings. I see that Mary Poppins is back, and George Washington, of course, back in America.
Yeah, I mean, your normal step-in paintings are all around there. The chalk art is starting to go down.
Oh, awesome. Greg, we talked last week about some of the food that's in Imagination Station. The
welcome in.
Yep, including the popcorn, chicken, and waffle popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn, chicken, and waffle popcorn
with mozzarella, not
chicken,
not
marshmallows.
Like
that
okay,
is
we'll get
absolutely that mozzarella. I'm
with you. I have a question
food looks
for
really
you.
good, like the new deconstructed key lime pie. I'm looking forward to that. There's a few other things that look really good to try out.
Absolutely, and I can't wait to see your images of these and even try some of these things with you on Saturday or Sunday this week.
You and I are going to have to go through a few of these and
we'll hit
figure out.
Without a doubt, I will be trying that Figment, whatever that rolled cake thing is.
Yeah. So what are their big things? They're really pushing this year that there's a new soup. What is the tomato soup? Like what was you got the
over pop
Tampa sandwich and
art.
soup?
Yeah,
pop art. So this year it is a
grilled cheese sandwich with the
croquin Monsoir grilled cheese, which is Black Forest ham, Gruyere, and bechamel sauce.
It sounds good, brother. I'm in.
I am in on that. They got a layered berry pina colada they're talking about, the deconstructed BLT, of course, the Figment fantasy cake, the popcorn chicken and waffles.
That's what we're looking
rainbow
at.
Popcorn chicken, mini mozzarellas, and maple syrup.
Oh, that's maple syrup that's on those.
Maple syrup, my
mozzarella.
friend. We'll find out about that.
Here's the question I have for you, because new this year is a giveaway for the card game. Explain this to me. I don't know much about it. I don't have any of these cards, but what is this? Because it seems to have taken over the internet.
Oh, God, there's so much going on this. So there's two different things going on. One is a scavenger hunt to find giant cards throughout the park, and they're already out. Like there's I think 11 cards that you find around World Showcase.
Okay, scavenger
Mickey Mouse and Stitch and stuff, and then you turn it in and you get one card. If you go to
so hold on a second. For that scavenger hunt, do you have to purchase something to
No, on this one, there's no purchase on the one. On another one, there is a purchase. I think it's called the Ink and Find or Paint and Find.
Okay, sure.
You do purchase it, and then you open up packs, and you try and complete a set. And then if you complete the set, and you can trade with people around you to make a complete set, and then you get another special card.
Okay.
And then if you pay to open up regular packs,
packs of what? What are these cards again?
Lorcana.
Lorcana, which is a card game.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it.
Robert, welcome in.
Yeah, Robert, good to see you.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a trading card game.
Robert's all over it. I just don't know. I'm sorry.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm still hanging out playing Pokemon with my daughter.
Well, and it's kind of like that. Yeah, no?
Yes, kind of. And speaking of that, Lorcana just had one of their championships, I believe, in North Carolina over the past weekend. So
that's great.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is really, I think this is going to be the most popular thing. They have a special booth in the Moroccan Pavilion where Restaurant Marrakesh used to be.
Oh,
so you
the
can
EBC lounge or
with other people, and you can hand in your scavenger hunt cards and pick up packs, do the trade-ins, everything back there. So
what used to be the Florida Blue is now the La Carta location. That's what you're telling me?
The Lorcana, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Very cool.
They did not sell them in Canada. I did not know that.
Oh.
And you would think Ravensburger would. Yeah. I love the artwork.
Really, I get it. Your son got you into it. That's what it would take for me to get into it, but nobody has done that yet. So I'm just going to say,
when they started adding more rare cards in the last few packs, and I think it was like Wishing Well or whatever that was, I think it became a little bit more intriguing to rip packs open. As for the game, look, I just learned how to play Pokemon properly.
Okay.
I can understand Magic and my Little Pony deck. Like, I don't need to add a third card game, man. I have too much going on.
I will move on.
Like, the artwork on these things is top notch.
Oh yeah, it looks great. They look great.
And what's great is normally at Disney Springs, you can go and like meet the artist and they'll sign the cards and stuff for you. So if you're ever down here at Disney World and there's like pack openings going on, go there. Yeah. You can normally get them to sign some cards.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all about it, man. Ravensburger does a great job with it. Lorcana does. And
I'm familiar with their puzzles.
Yeah. I mean, their puzzles are massive anyway, but it's like there's so much they have going on. Even their games, like their villains game and a few other things.
Okay. So, all right, let's move on. It's we're in January, but Valentine's, love is in the air. There's some Valentine's Day merch around the parks that you got some pictures of. Love the Hercules stuff. That's kind of cool. Hercules and Meg. Some Chip and Dale. Sure. Of course, Mickey and Minnie are going to be around. Some shirts. Sure, right? Walt Disney World, happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, hold on one second.
You got more?
Hold on. No, I'm just somebody I may have a idea of what the popcorn bucket looks like soon.
Oh, well, we can share that in a minute. I had one more from the Droid Factory for Valentine's Day, the R2 LVU and the R2 INO. or the Love You I Know.
Yeah. So, sorry, I was distracted for a second. Yeah,
okay.
Those are cool. Valentine's Day, Disney World is really cool, right? If you're down here, um, it's something really special. Sweetheart Nights, I would love to go to Sweetheart Night, especially
That's
get
only
that
Disney.
popcorn bucket
Is
from
that
last
Disney
year.
World? That's only Disneyland, right?
Only
Sweetheart
Disneyland.
Yeah.
But talk about Disney World for a second. On Valentine's Day itself, you get to see a bunch of couples, Disney princesses and their princes together. But the day before, my friend, is now Valentine's Day, where you get to see villains throughout Hollywood studios, which I'm hoping returns.
They did that last year. Was last year the first year they did that? Or has it been a couple of years now?
Last year was the first year they did it.
Okay, I thought so. And I remember Valentine's Day and that at the time, the villains on Happily Ever After hadn't opened yet. And we saw quite a few of the villains that ended up in there.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Cool.
I am looking forward to it.
All right. Are you ready for the news that dropped today?
I am.
Are you ready?
Today, Sam?
I am, and I want to know what people think about this.
I think you're more ready than I am, because I think I have pushback on this, and I think we're about to play pro versus con.
We are. And I'm going to, now I'm with you, and I understand where you're coming from. I'm going to take the stance of an average fan that doesn't get what's going on and is just there to have fun with the family and has no idea what's happening.
Damn, there is the bucket.
The bucket? You got it? Let's see. This is breaking news. This is breaking news. Hold on. I got to move around to see it. Hold on. Breaking news. That is the Figment popcorn bucket. We see what it looks like. Is he in some kind of an outfit? What exactly does he have there? I can't tell what's happening there. That's the bucket. Is that Parks Blog just dropped that? Is that what you're saying?
Nope. That is somewhere else, my friend. You'll have to go to Fantasyland News in a second and find it, because
absolutely, and we will do that.
No, it's on it's out there.
Very cool. All right, let's move on with Star Wars. You got distracted there. So in this,
absolutely distracted. Sam, you say the word popcorn buckets, and I get absolutely distracted.
So in this image, we see Darth Vader with a couple of stormtroopers. Now, I love this image. I'm a Darth Vader fan. Everybody knows that. But he happens to be standing in front of Kylo Ren's shuttle inside of the Galaxy's Edge, which up until now has been a complete no-no and something that did not happen because the Lucasfilm Story Group had Galaxy's Edge in a very specific time frame of the Star Wars galaxy, which was set between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. That was the time frame. It's the time frame that fits the attraction, Rise of the Resistance. It all ties together. And in Disney World, it even tied together into the Halcyon Galactic Star Cruiser. What Disneyland has now announced, what Disney has announced, is that Disneyland, starting in April, is going to expand the universe of Galaxy's Edge to incorporate additional eras of Star Wars that include the original trilogy and even some prequel things, which means we're gonna see other characters inside Galaxy's Edge. Darth Vader, thank you. We finally get Darth Vader, and you get to see him in a place that looks Star Wars. That's where he belongs. He needs to be in Star Wars. So I am all for this, Greg. I know you're going to take the other direction on this.
Yeah, I am not. Look, do I love the original characters? I absolutely do. Do I love Star Wars? Anything that has to do with Star Wars? I absolutely do. I need to put that out there. What I don't like is rewriting the history of a land at Disney parks that they put so much time and effort into for them to just go, you know what, we give up.
I want to say, we know this is only happening at Disneyland to start. And there's a huge difference between what is perceived as a local amusement park versus a global destination. That's the difference between Walt Disney World and Disneyland, right? It flips on the head, locals versus tourists that are visiting. When I was at Disneyland, and in the last show, I mentioned that their launch bay was empty. and I was the only person in line to see Darth Vader in launch bay. And to me, that was a huge miss. This has the potential of now there's a Darth Vader arrival at Galaxy's Edge. And the people are going to line up, and there's going to be a crowd around it, and Vader shows up, and there's stormtroopers. And what they're doing with Kylo Ren, you just do it with Vader, and you can go back and forth. There's no problem with having these guys. I don't have a problem with it.
No, I don't have a problem with them being there. I absolutely don't. Look, this is going to bring in more people into Galaxy's Edge.
That's right.
This is going to be just having John Williams music as you enter, because that's.
Let's talk about that. We should break it down one thing at a time, because that, my friend, how many people walk into Galaxy's Edge today, and there is no soundtrack to Galaxy's Edge. What you hear is the pots and pans and the radio playing and somebody talking up in the
like a living land.
And I get that, but if I'm a casual fan that's just showing up, where's the Galactic March when I get close to the First Order stuff? Where is the soundtrack that is Star Wars? It's the sound like you talked about for Handcrafted. The sound pulls it all together. I can't wait to hear a John Williams soundtrack while I am walking through Galaxy's Edge. Because, Greg, the only other time I ever did is when you and I watched the fireworks from that location, when it was the Star Wars fireworks for Disneyland, and it was phenomenal. Loved it.
Was absolutely phenomenal. So when you now walk into Galaxy's Edge, they will be playing the music, and it'll be the theme, the original theme. I think it was, what is it called? Oh my God, I wish I could remember the name of it.
I'm fine with any of them. Take anything off of that original score. You can, and you're going to separate it by lands, right? You still kind of have the bad guy part, right? So what the talk was, and I talked to you about this before we went on the air. Being the trying to be the smarty that I am, right? Or the smart ass without saying it, would go into First Order store and ask if they had any relics from the Empire. And I would ask about Darth Vader and where the merchandise was. And they would look at me like I was crazy. You know, this is the First Order. What do you mean? But why don't you sell Darth Vader stuff in there? It's just ridiculous that you don't have a bust or something. And so that's going to change. They're going to change Doc Ondor's to now expand to have additional merchandise from other eras, not just stuck in that one era. They're keeping Ronto wraps. They're keeping the things that we love. They're keeping Rise of Resistance exactly the way that attraction is. We know that Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is going to be updated with new scenes from the Grogu movie and Mandalorian Grogu when it comes out. So that's going to change. I think that you're bringing a lot more synergy when it feels like you're not. I think you're making it much more Star Wars.
I think you're
more fans.
Much more Star Wars. I think the issue, though, that I have again, right? Like, and we're nitpicking here. Again, at the end of the day, Sam, I'm really happy about this.
Oh yeah, like, yeah.
I'm a Star Wars fan, right? I think it's just, yeah. I don't know. I think so. I'm going to go back to years ago when it first opened. Right, this is the story that they were going to go for. This is the story that they were going to push. And then you could add in Mando, you could add in all this other stuff. And then it became, let's open up the Galactic Star Cruiser and tell this story on it. And we're going to tie these in together. And that really was tying in the old school with the new school, because you could go see Chewbacca. You could see a Han and Leia reference on the Star Cruiser. And the Star Cruiser could have been something so much better because of how this story was playing out, that I think you're kind of throwing away why this is decorated the way it is. Why? Remember,
I understand
last year, and I had a big to-do about just seeing Toy Story trash cans in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, right? Because they promised us that this is the story that they're going to tell. This land will never be touched. It is what it is. I want to bring up a side point here, Sam.
I understand.
Why do we have the Jungle Cruise? The Jungle Cruise was not, it was based off of, obviously, Rudyard Kipling's stories and stuff like that. But it was its own IP. It was its own thing.
Yes.
You don't see people going around going, you know what? You got to change Jungle Cruise because I don't see The Rock in it right now.
Okay.
You're not giving these things a chance to be what they are. You're so invested in what's going on and what's going to make people happy right now. And the social media people got together and said, "We hate this."
Well, but
bring in old characters.
Dude, I don't think Disney cares about social media people. They care about the bottom line and the money. And I am going to tell you that
land in all of Disney World and Disneyland.
I get it, but being there over the New Year's weekend, Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland is broken. It's not the same as Disney World. People don't, there's long lines for Rise of Resistance and there's a okay line, but there's nobody going into Olga's Cantina. There's nobody lined up to build droids or build lightsabers. It's just stuff that's there that people walk through. They go back there to ride an attraction and they leave. And that's the difference, I think, between Disneyland and Disney World. And they're not making changes at Disney World. Look, I still hold out hope that someday we can go into the Halcyon and have dinner in that dining room. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, it's in Imagineering's office now.
I get it. But I mean, and you know, some of the comments out here that they play Kylo Ren's theme when he comes out of the TIE Echelon.
Yeah.
Well, look, Vader might be coming out of the same theme, but it's going to be the Imperial March, and I can't wait to hear it.
I can't look.
For the breathing to start.
I like how they're dividing it up, right? When I went to Olga's, I was expecting to hear the Cantina song.
Yes.
And instead I got Jar Jar Slinks Away or Part 27.
You're
I don't know what.
This changes. Olga's can now play some of that stuff. They can. I like that a lot. But look, Disneyland's been on the forefront of this, Greg. And by the way, this is happening in April. What else is happening this summer? The 50th anniversary of Star Wars, right? 1977. That's coming to Star Wars Celebration.
Or 27.
It's 7, right? You got Star Wars Nights coming. May the 4th be with you. Those things are happening. Which, by the way, last year they introduced Jedi Luke, and R2-D2 was one of the meet and greets part of Star Wars Night. Did they fit? Yeah, they did. They kind of kept them over in the corner. But look, we've also seen at Disneyland, Greg, Ahsoka Tano has done a meet and greet. Sabine Wren has done a meet and greet in their Galaxy's Edge. Boba Fett, the new Boba Fett, not the original, but Boba Fett, along with Fennec Shan, have done meet and greets. To me, it's like this a galaxy far, far away that it was at Disney World, the stage show that happened while Galaxy's Edge was under construction. That's what's going on here. And it's got remnants of the old Star Wars weekends where you had the original Boba Fett and Darth Vader and Luke and Leia and all of these people you could meet. Dude, you were there for the Star Wars weekends. Look, a Tusken Raider, Aurora Singh, or maybe even a Saj Ventress. These are all characters that can now be walking through Galaxy's Edge, and it's not a problem. And Greg, if they do this, which was at a Star Wars weekend, you give me Akbar Snack Bar, and I'll be the first one in line to get it.
Akbar.
It's a snack. You know it's what? A snack. Come on, you know it.
Akbar Snack Bar, all you want. I'm not taking anything away from that, my friend.
Or look, this is all from Star Wars weekends, but you got Dengar on the bottom there, one of the bounty hunters and clone troopers and Star Wars cupcakes. How about the Emperor or Darth Malak? Maybe even a stage show at the end. I know I'm pushing it now. But I'd love to see a dance party at the end.
I don't know. I
had to go there. I'm sorry.
I'm happy for this. Don't get me wrong. I really am happy for this. I just think everybody's just pushing. Everybody complains that we don't get new stuff, and Disney doesn't come up with something original and stuff. Like, nothing for nothing, this was one of the most original lands we've had in a long time.
I don't disagree with you. You're right. But look, I think today at Disney World, remember the old trick? You ask the cast member, you come up with your backstory. I know you know that better than anyone. You come up with your backstory and you go into Galaxy's Edge and you ask one of the cast members where they're from, and they'll give you their in-universe, where they're from and the planet that they came from, or maybe they just live on the edge of Batuu and they ride their speeder bike into work and they park it out back. Olga wants a ton of money for parking spots, and they come up with these really elaborate stories. In Disney World. In Disneyland, not so much.
Right. So you're going to get it in abundance now. right? You're going to get new stories and new things going on, and people can add new. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
Look, here's what I look forward to. I look forward to going into the Disneyland app, hitting the entertainment tab, and looking for the activities that are coming to Galaxy's Edge, and seeing that at 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock is Kylo Ren's arrival, and at noon and 4 is Darth Vader, and then there's a Fennec Shan thing happening over here, and you can see Ahsoka over here, and Mandalorian Grogu are going to be back there, and all of these different things happening, or Han and Chewie are going to be somewhere. Come on, Luke and Leia, or Jedi Luke with R2-D2. Oh, that's the stuff that we all wanted Galaxy's Edge to be. At least I did.
And you're going to get it. I mean, there's some really cool things that are happening in the future for this one. Do you think we're going to see that here?
That's the $100,000 question, and it's the one that people have been asking me. And yes, they do a version of the Cantina song, but you're right, man. It's a wrap. I like that too. It's a wrap. It's a snack. It's a wrap. Come on, this writes itself, Greg. Snack bar, snack bar, baby. Come on. You can keep Docking Bay 7, but just give me a card out front.
Yeah.
See, because the problem was, if you're following the Star Wars timeline, Akbar isn't alive in this timeline. But now if he is, or you can bring him back, right? And here's the other example I gave you, and maybe others will get where I'm coming from. It's almost like for Avengers Campus at Disneyland, they locked it into a specific time between two movies, and you couldn't do anything else. Not a bad example, but a close one, because there's so many damn movies in the Marvel Universe.
There's so many.
There are, but if you just pick two of them that happen to be the two movies when you built Avengers Campus and said you're locked into that timeline, how could you do the things that you're doing now? How do you bring in Doctor Strange and the Guardians and all these other things that are happening in Black Panther and you name it, and the Warriors of Wakanda? All that stuff that they do spans genres, right? Deadpool and the Christmas thing we just talked about. All that stuff, they locked Star Wars into this very specific time frame between two movies. This is it. Now you're opening it up to do whatever the heck you want, and it's all going to fit. You're not going to be haphazard how you do it. It's going to fit.
I'm with you.
I'm fired up, brother.
As well as you should be.
Is it coming to Disney World? That's the question you asked me.
Yes.
And I would flip a coin. I think it'll come down to how successful. Well, here's the other part too. People do wear their Jedi robes into Galaxy's Edge at Disney World and have their backstory and bring in there and do those kind of things.
Yes.
How does Disneyland or Disney World not embrace that? How do you continue to embrace that and still be able to expand it? There's some things that need worked out, which is why it's only Disneyland for now.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that they're going to work out. Yeah, I mean, and then look, you now have R2 going out there. Are we going to see the BDX?
R2's awesome. I can't wait to see him.
I've never seen R2. Like, I've never met real R2.
I've seen him in. I met R2 MK at Star Wars Weekends, but I've not seen R2 live in Galaxy's Edge, only in concept art.
Really?
Yeah, he was in concept art for Launch Bay too, and he never showed up there.
Oh.
But what are you going to do? Greg, all of this means I am going to need a much bigger popcorn bucket to sit back and watch this happen, sir.
Well, yeah, you're going to need a much bigger. How about a 5-gallon popcorn bucket?
5-gallon Lowe's bucket, 5-gallon pink can filled with popcorn for $5. Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah. Okay. So this is tricky. Okay.
This weekend only, right? So
this weekend only is National Popcorn Day, and each individual theater is doing something different and special. Okay. Cinemark and Lowe's have gotten together where if you purchase the big construction bucket that they sell thousands and thousands of them a day, the blue bucket from Lowe's, right? For $5, you can go get it filled with free popcorn at any Cinemark theater. That's 5 gallons of popcorn, my friend. AMC is doing a special popcorn thing with it's like all you can have. It's like 2 extra larges or something, and then they have a popcorn pass that you can buy. Different theaters are doing, like, some are giving away free large popcorn with a ticket purchase. So it's interesting. And then the second major thing is Lord of the Rings Extended Edition is coming out. Yeah, Lowe's popcorn, right? Oh, by the way, because I just said the same thing. I was like, I'm not using a blue bucket. They will put it in a liner. They have liners.
Bag in it? Is that what you're saying? You're gonna put the big plastic bag in it? You need
you put the big plastic bag in it first. They have liners for these buckets.
Yeah.
That they'll
by the way, Robert, my chat is not off. I just had it behind a window while I was on my rant. And we have seen Zootopia 2, both of us.
Yes, both of Zootopia. I can't wait. Zootopia 2. Anyway, hold on. So believe me, I have a lot of few popcorns from Zootopia 2 sitting around me. I love that movie.
You do. You do.
Lord of the Rings Extended Edition comes to theaters on the January.
What does Extended Edition mean? Just longer movie, director's cut?
It's the director's extended version. It's the first time it's ever being seen in theaters.
Oh, so it was on a DVD somewhere.
It was on DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. So it's coming back to theaters. It's the 25th anniversary of Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson's version of it, which is phenomenal. They have new popcorn buckets. These are the AMC ones. I'm sorry. This is the AMC one. They only have one bucket, but it also comes with a magnet set featuring the One Ring and the Eye of Sauron. And
those things on the top are magnets.
Magnets, yes. And then Regal and independent theaters has a One Ring popcorn bucket, which displays the One Ring. So there's your popcorn bucket news for the week, my friend.
There's always news, and we got some insight into the Figment popcorn bucket.
In fact, it is up on fantasylandnews.com right now, my friend.
So you were blogging while you were supposed to be paying attention to what I was saying.
I have no clue what we talked about in the last 10 minutes.
I can't get through a week without a Muppet magnet. I mean, it just feels like we spent 70 weeks going through these every week. This is the first week we don't have one. I mean,
right?
I feel bad about it. But yes, it is true that Greg purchased a larger refrigerator in order to house all of his magnets.
Yeah, I kind of needed to. I think, Sam, we need to come up with a new what's missing from this list. I think we started
Clifford.
Right, let's start this week.
Flying Zucchini Brothers.
Our number one.
So Clifford's number one.
We'll add one every single week. This week, my friend, is Clifford.
Okay, next week I will do that. Next week I'll come back with the who got robbed. Clifford is week number 1, which is right now, and then you and I will decide what the next week is, unless you want to bring one next week, and then I'll bring one the following week.
I think both of us can just decide on whatever it is. Look, this is your pick. I will bring one next week, my friend.
I got Clifford. You bring next week's.
I got a bunch.
Very nice. I'm sure that you do. Look, we'll be back next week on January the 21st, talking about Festival of Arts and getting ready for the Disneyland Handcrafted, which will be on the 22nd. And Greg, I think I am going to spin that documentary or the little featurette that Disney recently launched. If you're listening to a replay and this goes right to the closing credits, that's because we had to cut it out. But sometimes YouTube does that to us. We don't know.
Sometimes YouTube. But hey, listen, importantly, go see this documentary. Put it on Disney Plus. We like supporting what we do, and what we do is we talk about Disney and different various things. And so we try and bring our passion to you guys. And this is something that we believe in. And I cannot wait for you guys to see that. And I want to hear your reviews out there, because if you think I'm wrong, please be like, dude, you sound like a shill. Not a shill. I didn't get paid for it. So
I get it. Greg, I'll be back when this is over, but let's take a look at this. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
This documentary encapsulates the making of Disneyland, raw material captured by these cameramen.
Oh, sorry.
Just kidding.
Watching Walt go through the immense amount of pressure.
The joys and anxieties.
Everything was tied up in the park.
A race against times.
They had a lot of problems getting the place open.
He expected everybody to do what he did.
What was going on behind the scenes.
Disneyland, a spectacular failure.
Something changed in him.
Just a matter of days away from the formal opening of Disneyland.
This was the ultimate story of risk. I'm Leslie Iwerks, and I am the director of Disneyland Handcrafted. Disneyland Handcrafted is a feature-length film we put together about the making of Disneyland, built through archival footage found in the film archives. It up and really polished it. We were able to pull a lot of material that people have never seen before, outtakes that have been sitting in the film archives all these years, people that were there just leading up to opening day. Just watching Walt go through this process, he risked so much to build this park. He was on camera, happy as can be, but what was going on behind the scenes, a completely different story. It was behind schedule, there were at the same time, he was building his dream. So we really built this film in a way that felt very verite. We wanted you to live in it with the sounds of what you're seeing, the hammering, the construction footage. We wanted you to feel what it felt like. When we were making the Imagineering story, there was so much material left on the cutting room floor, outtakes that were not used in that show, that has never been shown. I was with Jason Recker, executive at Disney, and the experiences team, and I was telling him about it. He goes, oh, well, send me a link. He just immediately said, this is amazing. We should be making this film. This is history right here. It really took one person's vision to see the importance of this project and to really bring it to life.
How about ABC televising the opening of Disneyland? Mr. Disney thought it was a fine idea.
My grandfather and father, both Disney legends and Oscar winners, were very instrumental in a lot of the creativity that started with this company, from Mickey Mouse to the multiplane to the optical printer to the 360-degree camera system, Circle Vision, and I grew up around this. My father is Don Iwerks, my grandfather is Ub Iwerks. They are both film pioneers. My grandfather worked for Disney the majority of his life. I remember my first book report that I was tasked to do as a kid. I decided to do it on my grandfather because I didn't really know. I was one when he passed away. I learned a lot through my grandmother. She would tell stories of Walt and Ub, their early history together, and a lot of fascinating stories that I took for granted, but also just knew Iwerks history as it relates to the global Disney history. And I started reading all these books about Walt and the creation of Mickey and the history of the company, and I read about through those books. And yet I also realized there were so many stories that weren't in the books that we knew about. If only those stories could be told. And so I think when I went to USC Film School, I was never thinking I was going to be a documentary filmmaker or focus on that, but I had this desire to tell my grandfather's story. I thought this would be an opportunity to really interview everybody that did work with him and really solidify his impact with the company. That was the beginning of what I think was an unexpected turn in my early career. Roy E. Disney championed this idea to do a documentary about Ub, and he said, of course his story needs to be told. Really got to share my grandfather's story with Walt, and I learned so much in the making of that film called The Hand Behind the Mouse, the Ub Iwerks story. I feel like I know him now. My dad got a job at Disney and ultimately oversaw the Disney machine shop, but they invented a 360 Circle Vision camera behind me and the 3D camera system behind me, of which my dad and grandfather are very much a part of. The 3D camera, it was used in the Captain EO film. I remember my dad taking me to the set of Captain EO. I loved Michael Jackson as a kid, and here he is performing. I just remember these legends, Lucas, Jackson, and Francis Ford Coppola. My dad was sitting behind them, and I was sitting next to him. And I'm just like this little kid looking up, and that kind of exposure you can't beat it. My dad would take me to the studio, the back lot. He would go work in the machine shop. And so I would just have the freedom to roam around as a kid and explore. I could walk through the old sets. For me, it was just kind of a backyard. It's fun stuff like that filled my mind with this imaginative spirit.
All the time we were trying to...
Sorry.
The workmen were still building Disneyland.
I think my love for all things Disney has just permeated the films that I make, and to find this archival footage and really go through it and to lead to this new documentary, it's just been a real honor. the way in which we've crafted this film that felt very personal. What inspired me was just seeing Disneyland in its really raw form, the making of this park. All of this was truly handcrafted by everybody. When you look at this raw footage of them building this in that year, at the same time that he's on TV promoting this with a smile on his face and we're gonna do it, you cut to what's going on behind to the sound bites from people closer and closer and closer to the deadline of opening day. It became very, very scary. Walt leveraged his house, his income, his own livelihood. He pretty much put the company on the line. This documentary really encapsulates the raw DNA of Disneyland. And it's the 4 lands in the park, the main street, the hub, all for happiness. And everything that came from this original park is what has permeated the globe and all the parks. Everybody stands on the shoulders of those who came before when it comes to Walt Disney. He was the original seed that all this grew from.
Walt Disney, the great.
Huge amount of respect for what he did and what it took to bring so much happiness to the world. He looked out at that dirt lot, thought, I'm going to create the happiest place on earth. It's unbelievable what he pulled off, and just really wanted to give fans a glimpse into what it was really like.
Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future.
I am definitely ready to watch, Greg.
Yeah, it is absolutely worth seeing. I can't wait till people see this. So thanks everybody so much for watching tonight. You can always get Sam at samsdisneydiary.com, Sam's Disney Daily on Instagram, and of course, hopefully you're watching on Sam's Disney Diary on YouTube. You can get me at fantasylandnews.com. If you want to see the Figment Bucket, go to fantasylandnews.com or check out
going there right now.
Fantasyland News. We're all across everything. We appreciate everybody, and we will see you again next week. And as always, my friend, end of line.
Congaloosh. See you next week, January 24th, same time. Thanks for being here with us. Seriously, it means a lot.